What's live action role play?
I have no idea what a live action role play is.
Live action role play? Is that like is it like sex role play?
What is action live play?
Like, I work in the medical school and they pretend they're doctors.
Games? I don't know.
Game role play?
Yeah.
I don't know. No idea.
It would have to be something that's actually filmed and taken as it's seen.
Foot role play?
No idea.
Not a clue.
Anything to do with bounce balls?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
How would I describe that? It depends on who you talk to, but it's a cross-country pantomime is a sort of probably the best way to put it.
Jamie, did you lose an arrow?
I got in the LARP, when I was about 15, I think was the first game that I went to. But I used to do loads of tabletop role-playing and wargaming and that kind of stuff when I was younger. Is our group similar to Dungeons and Dragons? Sort of, I suppose. I mean, that was a game that made such an impact on role-playing. It's one of the first role-playing games that came out from the 70s. And I think live role-playing was sort of spawned off the back of that. I mean, the whole thing was inspired out from Tolkien's writings and various other fantasy authors, I suppose. Dungeons and Dragons is more of a sit down and describe what you're going to do, whereas live role-playing, you sort of do it. I think it's one of those things that people get to unleash their inner ham actor, and different people do it for different reasons. I love the sort of costuming side of it. I like playing characters, and I like the sort of story elements and the history side of stuff that doesn't crop up too much in LARP. But yeah, it's a kind of freeform interactive theatre is another way that I've heard it described. I don't know, just running around the woods having a laugh generally, like it's good escapist fun.
Well, I'm one of the coordinators at Weird Weavings. What I do is I'm a referee with my colleague Sean, and we help run the game and provide the entertainment and the storylines for the players who come along and get involved in it. Morning everybody and welcome to this morning's game. The crew's already gone off, so just give them a few more minutes. Just want to do a quick check about everything. Chords you're going to hear this morning. Time in means that the game's begun. You're in character, so just enjoy yourselves, have fun, pretend to be somebody different for a couple of hours. The way players come along and work, they join one of two groups. They'll become the heroes or they become the crew. The heroes are the stars such as you'd see in Merlin Arthur and Robin Hood and things like that. And the crew are all the bad guys, or all the peasants that get beaten up or oppressed, and all the nasty monsters that are going to stop the good guys from doing what they want to do. It's sitting down and having an idea of what you want your players to do, be it to rescue somebody who's been kidnapped, to steal some gold that's already been taken, to stop an evil troll from destroying a village. Once you've got that sort of idea, it's probably going to take an hour or two to actually fully flesh that story out. So you've got all the aspects covered, everybody who the players are going to meet will know what they're going to do, and the players have got a story that they're really going to get themselves involved in and get lost in. And for a little while they're not going to be Joe Smith, they're going to be Olaf the Barbarian. The creativity aspect is something that I enjoy as well. It's been going out there and just sort of letting myself go and just imagining that the people who are dressed up as a mage or a warrior are actually mages and warriors, and going back and probably revisiting a time that I would never normally... Well, nobody would ever go back unless you invent a time machine. So, again, it's great for that. I just find it's a good outlet for writing down the things that's going on in my head, to tackle all sorts of issues. I mean, some of the current things that we've got in the game is race related, and you could say that it kind of mirrors what's happening in today's society, but just in a fantasy way. So you get to maybe voice your own opinions, or more importantly, I think for me, is to see what other people think about the situations that you create and see how they handle them. So it's great.
I think, yeah, creative. I think most of them are pretty creative and imaginative. And I don't think too many of them suffer from that thing that a lot of LARPers do, which is the picked on kid too much and trying to get that out. Or yeah, they're good, nice people.
I really would kill to be a vampire. I mean, like, it's kind of an obsession for me, being a vampire, and then of course all the powers that come with being a vampire, like the mind reading, being able to control someone just by saying do this and they would do it, and then of course being able to flip from place to place. But it's, I don't know, it's just the thought of being a vampire, and they're kind of special in their own way.
I think a lot of people take it as a hobby a bit too seriously, really.
Hi there, welcome to the Dungeon of Doom, my little garage, or what should be a garage but really is the equipment store for Weird Weavings and everywhere else. In here I've got a whole rack of costume, I've got shelves of bits and bobs that can be useful for things, weapons that are damaged, weapons that are in good condition. Talking of weapons, so I've got some swords, some wonderful daggers made by Shelford Effects. Thanks, Matt, for these. Brilliant.
Oh no, I remember this bag. I don't like this bag. Where is it? I have no idea what that is. I don't... Oh, it's a hammock. Yes, I'm very addicted to LARP. Like, it's everything. I don't know, it's part of your life, so you think it's totally normal, and anyone who doesn't do LARP is really weird, but obviously they're going to think it's the other way around. Running around with latex weapons and medieval kit with chainmail on isn't weird at all.
I just nearly knocked Stonehenge over.
I as well as the social aspects of live roleplay, I know of quite a few people who suffer from, I wouldn't have said like mental disabilities, but suffer from mental conditions such as autism, or have suffered from depression, and have found a release through live roleplay to be able to sort of channel themselves. Because I think with with depression, I'm not really qualified to say this, but people who are depressed are generally a little bit upset or angry with what's going on in their own lives, and the chance to be somebody else and get rid of those pressures for even 2 or 3 hours is just a tremendous lift to them. and you never know when through the course of an adventure you might just finally find that life skill that you need, or somebody who can help you with that and try and alleviate the burden that you've got in your own life.
The guys who have also ran the LARP, Jez, Dave, Sean, Mike, Keith, through a lot of bad times in my life, I was always being there. I had an argument with my dad once when I was younger, and I ran away from home. And the guys, there was about 7 of them, all came home and came and picked me up. And then they were fighting over who I would stay with. That was quite amusing. But they've always just pulled me out of bad situations in my life. And obviously being in LARP, you get to meet a lot of people. And then it's like a giant family. And I love it. To be honest, I don't think I would be where I was now if I didn't have LARP in my life. LARP is a huge bit of my life, and I'd never give it up for anything, ever.
What I learned quite early on is that if you do something and you're proud of it, shout about it.
Our king is bonny, and there lives my love, my love.